It's about that time. Hi guys, it's Vodahmin Suleyk here, and today we are going to be doing a food review of Elder Scrolls official cookbook. I've been craving it for a long time. My boyfriend was sweet enough to get it for me as an anniversary gift, and it's time to find out what these recipes have to offer. I'm sure they're all delicious. I spent all day cooking them. The first one we're going to try goat herds pie. It looks beautiful. Tastes amazing. The mashed potatoes, the cream, the goat's meat, which was not easy to find. A lot of these recipes are very rustic, and they have incredible background stories and remind me of places I've traveled in Skyrim. They taste almost of the air, and there's a sort of magical sense to them. Look at these. The goat herds pie. It's fantastic. Tastes very homemade. The mashed potatoes are fluffy, but very flavorful. Meat is not too seasoned. Let's take a look at the recipe here. That's my favorite thing to do. Go back and taste the subtle differences in each of the recipes in this book. Today was my first attempt. I woke up very, very early to make sure everything tasted amazing. Mixed vegetables, olive oil, a leek, which was so hard to find also. That's not a very common vegetable, I found out the hard way. Unsalted butter, beef broth, all-purpose flour. Here is the image, and I think I got it pretty good. Maybe not spot on, but very close. Let's show this to the camera. The meat had to be cooked separately from the mashed potatoes, and the mashed potatoes needed to be cooked separately from the top crust. It was all such a beautiful process. Very, very good. The surprising thing is, cooking recipes in the Elder Scrolls makes you wonder. It makes you think. That's fantastic. A little bit of pink Moscato to let it all down. It's quite a bit of food. The shepherd's pie. This goat herds pie. Look at that. Really beautiful. It's just absolutely amazing. Next, we're going to try the ash yams, which of course automatically make me think of Morrowind, or Resdane for those who know the old school name of Morrowind. I think it was called Resdane before the first era. A lot of crazy things happened back then. We've got goat cheese, fresh parsley, and I added a little bit of Stormcloak seasoning. Check that out. Was never a really big fan of ash yams, and then I started using mods in Skyrim. Before you know it, I'm growing ash yams in every house. Every house I own. Got a house in Markarth, my house in Whiterun. Got the kids running around. It's pretty cool because I like to leave ash yams around the house. Makes me feel like they're being a little nutritious, with a little sweet kick for the kids. It tastes amazing. It's warm. The cheese is a very interesting addition. I never thought about adding cheese to an ash yam or a sweet potato for the layman. It's incredible. The fresh parsley. I'm going to try another bite of this goat herd's pie. Let's take a picture, or let's show a picture of the ash yams. Check that out. Very appetizing looking. It's beautiful. And the recipe was really simple. You just heat up the sweet potatoes, get the garnish in there. This is sort of turning into a mukbang with the amount of food I have here. It originally started as a review, but check me out. So much food. Thinking scissors. Nothing on my teeth. So, let's try something else. Another one I had tried today, another recipe, first time recipe, was the hot mud crab dip. That was very fun to make. It comes with cream cheese, heavy cream, splash of white wine vinegar, 8-ounce crab meat, storm coat seasoning of course, shredded cheddar, minced chives, pinch of chili, and really goes well with these toast pieces here. And got the crab dip. Ooh, it's kind of bright, can't really tell. There we go. I'll make sure to zoom in and try that later. So let's put some on this piece of bread here. Check that out. Tastes amazing. Definitely taste the dill and the fennel from the storm cloak seasoning. The fresh chives, the crab, and the cream cheese, they go so well together. Very creamy. And it reminds me of all those mud crabs. Every time you walk by a river, anytime you're trying to swim from one island to another, you're just trying to make it from Falkreath to Whiterun without getting your butt beat. But if you're anywhere near a body of water, you're gonna run into a mud crab. Maybe even some slaughterfish. No discrimination. I really wish the lighting was better so you could see how moist and good that is. It's fantastic. Take one more bite. A little bit of pink Moscato to wash it down in my dragon bone cup. Dragon bone, dragon scales. You collect 100 of them. You end up selling them. They're so heavy. But everyone ends up collecting a bunch. You stockpile those things. Who doesn't stockpile dragon scales and dragon bones? Everyone does. Fantastic so far. Now let's see what else we got on the table here. I like to bring the book so you can see a good representation of a photograph and then compare. Up next, a recipe that looks so simple but actually took almost 2 hours to complete. The pea soup. I never knew I was a pea soup girl, but the recipe just encapsulated me and I wanted to give it a try. You've got fresh bacon, carrots, peas of course. Let's go down the recipe, shall we? Beef broth, peas, olive oil, a leek, light green, the light parts are sliced, strips of bacon, dried marjoram, salt and pepper. Marjoram is a fancy word for oregano, but it's amazing. Let's try out this pea soup. Stormcloak style. That's fantastic. Something happens when a recipe is made and baked in with bacon. The funny thing is, I don't actually enjoy bacon. But when it's paired with the right partner in crime, as you could say, it tastes amazing. Like these peas and these, I don't like carrots either. Look at that. There's carrots in the pea soup as well as the goat herd pie. It's amazing. That's incredible. It's creamy. It's earthy. And I feel like I'm sitting at the Viking skeever right now. Literally. Oh my gosh. Or even the Bannered Mare. Somewhere wholesome, warm. Look at that. It's beautiful. Very creamy. Very, very creamy. I'm going to try some more of this this crab dip. With these slices of beautiful bread here. So good. Let's see what else we got out here, huh? It seems I have also made some Nordic barnacles, which I can never remember the page for. I want to say 59. Nope. Oh, they're seared. $107. Check that out. Beautiful. And this is my rendition. Juniper berries, bacon, and some mini potatoes. They're adorable. Let's take a taste of this, huh? You got scallops in there that are seared with juniper, which I actually substituted with cranberry. I ran out of juniper berries. I do use them for many recipes here. And then you've got your freshly seared bacon bits there. Fantastic. Let's get some of this going. Seared scallops. I feel like I'm sitting on the dock at Riften. It's crazy because when I found out there was an actual book filled with the recipes for Elder Scrolls, I was taken aback. I mean, my love for Oblivion, Skyrim, Morrowind, the DLCs, Daggerfall, Arena, the love goes back. Elder Scrolls Online. This is such a cool way to connect with my characters, which is usually some female overpowered mage. This is incredible. These mixtures of flavors. I'll try one of these mini potatoes because they're adorable. Very rustic. It's funny because when you start a channel, you have to decide, what am I going to represent? What's important to me? And I realized, Elder Scrolls. My heart, my soul, the beginning of my creativity. It's an amazing world. I mean, it all started with Vivek. I know that's so random, but for those of you who played Morrowind and got into Vivek and got into the Tribunal and started with nothing but waking up on a boat in Saint Denis. I mean, it's crazy how characters and backstories meld into this wonderful story, and 5 people in a room can each individually play an Elder Scrolls game, and you'll get 5 different stories from them as to what they got from the game, their experiences, what powers they used, what missions they were a part of, what guilds they joined. It's a beautiful world. Of course, we're all waiting for the next Elder Scrolls game to come out, but I do commend Todd Howard and the creators, because the story they've built, the lore they've built, I plan on going over a lot of different things regards to the future, how I feel about the Altmeri Dominion, why I joined the Stormcloaks. Like, there's a lot of controversy and a lot of room to wonder and guess about what the future is going to look like. I'm so getting a camera stand in the future so that I can actually angle the camera at the food while I'm eating. I'm going to try a little bit more of the crab dip, which because of the lighting is hard to see. But it is fantastic. Get on there, bad boy. You know you want me to try you. Look at that. Crab dripping off. There's one major thing I want to talk about. Ready? You ready for this? I remember playing Oblivion. And I believe I was leaving the Imperial City, and there was an alien ruin in the distance. And it just, I remember just being completely and totally immersed in the idea of, why are the High Elves not running everything? I, of course, myself was a High Elf at the time. As I was walking over to this alien ruin, I killed a Minotaur, slayed a few imps, and by the time I had made it to the ruin, I said, this ruin is of alien descent. It almost gave me that Dwemer feeling of, why are these people who are here and of higher superiority not running everything? It was just a passing thought, and everything I had learned about the aliens and how the High Elves are descendant of them, and then how the aliens themselves are the descendant of gods, and how their worship for Meridia and Molech Bal, like my 2 favorite Daedric princes. I consider them my spiritual father and mother, Molech Bal and Meridia, the Queen of Unending Light, whose hands have now touched the beacon. You know what I mean? Like, Meridia is epic as heck, and when it comes to Molech Bal, the king of domination and enslavement, you better believe I'm down with that. I mean, there was really nothing wrong with them in my eyes. I understand a superior race moving forward and taking control of everything. I also understand their demise. But Queen Irene, who I met in Elder Scrolls Online, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, she's fantastic. She's got a good heart. She believes that the Altmeri Dominion needed to be formed in order to help the other races ascend and show them organization and show them... It sounds crazy to choose sides, but when it came to the war, the civil war in Skyrim, I actually chose the Stormcloaks, and I agree that the Stormcloaks are puppets for the Altmeri Dominion. I absolutely agree. I believe Ulfric was played. I believe the Imperials kind of ran out of options, but at the same time, through the use of mods, I became a queen. Like, I married Ulfric with mods, and I have 5 castles and 10 kids, and I ride dragons to work in the morning. I mean, look at my room. Like, I very much enjoyed the fantasy of power and mods, and that all came back to the Altmeri Dominion and the aliens again, where it comes... I actually believe High Elves, their names are appropriate. That does not demean any of the other races. I still love Khajiits, I still love Argonians, I still love the Dunmer, like, I still love the Orcs, I still love Red Guards, I still love Imperials, like, they're all individually very special, but my heart was always touched very highly by the Altmeri Dominion. That's random, but their cause, their fight for life, everything, their knowledge, their power, their lack of respect for other races. Excuse me. Forgive me. To me, I always understood their struggle. Because it wasn't a struggle. They were so powerful and so filled with knowledge that they decided, we're going to take over everyone else. And while the world is vulnerable because of the Oblivion Crisis, we're going to jump on over to the Imperial City and just dump a bag of heads. They just dumped a bag of heads of the Blades. They said, oh yeah, we're going to start a war. You guys have to listen to our rules and all that jazz, and the Blades are going to have to be disbanded. And the Imperials were like, what? Especially the Emperor at the time. He's like, I'm not disbanding the Blades. A Thalmor agent dropped a bag of heads, and that's what officially started the war. People forget that. But to me, that was badass. That's what you do when you're the highest race and the most powerful. You show up and you let people know, listen, we are in control now. How funny was it when the Argonians jumped into all the portals and made the Oblivion Crisis go away? They made Mehrunes Dagon change his mind and close. Daedra were closing their own gates left and right. It's fantastic. Not only did the Altmeri Dominion completely take over the world of Tamriel, they tricked the Khajiit into backing them. Like the old days, back when there was the Alliance War going on. I find that hilarious because the Khajiit are impressionable, and their lives and rules and ways of living are all ruled by June and Jode, the moons. When the moons disappeared, the Altmeri Dominion said, that was us. We brought them back after 2 years. And then, of course, all the cats of Elsewhere were like, psh, we love the Altmeri Dominion. So, they do a lot of things over time. I'm going to try some more of the sweet potato, okay? Look at them ash yams. They did a lot of things over time. So creamy, so good. And those little hints of goat cheese, fantastic. The fresh parsley. I'm trying some more on the crab dip and some of this bread. My goodness, so good. Try a little bit more of this pea soup. Look at that. My gosh, that's crazy. Wow. Throat's getting a little dry, but the funny thing about the Altmeri Dominion is they still haven't learned. It's like yes, there are benefits to overthrowing an entire empire. Yes, there are benefits to paying off all the Thanes of Skyrim and making them come to your side, even if they themselves don't believe in the Thalmor cause or Thalmor power. What I thought was interesting was every Thalmor you meet is mean and rude. They've already won, so there's no need for their behavior to get out of control. They need to sweeten up a little. Get a sweet tooth. And while we're talking about sweet tooths, it's time to try my homemade. It's time to try my homemade sweet roll. You've seen it. It's one of the most iconic desserts in Skyrim. And I think it's time to cut it open and give it a try. Oh, would you look at that? Look at that bad boy. Check that out. Mmm. That is light and airy. And it tastes just as sweet and fluffy and flavorful as it looks sitting on everyone's dining room table in Skyrim. Did you want another sweet roll? Mmm. It's your standard cake recipe, but it is delicious. And it's just, it gives you that kick that you really need. Try a little bit more of this crab dip. Alright everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I've been Vodahmin Suleyk, and next week we're going to be doing another part of exploring the Elder Scrolls official cookbook. Don't forget to add me on your social media on the links below, and like and subscribe so you can always get updates on the new videos that I'm posting about Elder Scrolls.